Hello. Okay, welcome to the tutorial for You Raise Me Up. We will start with You Raise Me Up. This is going to be page 1. You'll need 2 copies of this page. And okay. This is, let's go ahead and start here. And what we're going to do is we'll write the letter names on the staff. If you don't have this, you can just use a blank piece of paper and just write them in relation to each other, like if it goes up or if it goes down. But as we're learning the notes, and if you already know the notes, this I think is easier and it shows where it is on the piano. Okay, let's see, page 1. We start down here on middle C. We play C, C, F, A. And A is going to be held a little longer, so we'll leave a little space before we write the next note. F, G, then 2 Fs, D, C, F. All right, and I'll change I think I did fingering in red, if I remember right. So we're going to start with your thumb. Thumb, thumb. Okay, the 3 goes on this F, so it's not just going to be one finger on each key. You're going to have to reach up just a little bit for the 3 on F, and then your 5, your pinky plays the A. Back to 3 on F, 4, 3, 3, 2 is down on D. So your 3rd is on F and your 2 is on D. You're skipping the note E. And then your thumb is on C and up to 3. All right, I'm going to switch over to the piano. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, when we do fingering, we try to do it with the least amount of moving around. Like if I had my pinky here and I went 1, 4, and my pinky would have to go up, that's a more awkward reach than, see how naturally there's a big distance between your thumb and here? It's easier than trying to stretch these apart. So it's just feels more natural. So we want to do things that are natural and the least amount of movement. So if you just put your 2 here, your 2 is going to play this D coming back down, but it can rest up here. Okay, that's the first line. Now let's come back and write the second line. Back to our black for the notes. Okay, we're going to move now. Your 3rd was on F. When we start here, we're going to start on an E, and that'll be our thumb, but I'll do the fingering here in a minute. It's E, F, A, C. Notice how the F, A, C, those are just all on the spaces. E is on a line. So E is close to the F, and then each of these skip a letter. Now you come back down to F. There's a little space because you hold C a little longer. And then you hop all the way up here to D, above where the C was. 2 C's, A, G. All right, now let's put the fingering in. Fingering's really important. When you're learning it, use the right fingers so that you get in the habit of that. It'll make it easier to play. Okay, right here we start with your thumb. And I do a little like starburst around it because it's in a different place than where your thumb was before. All right, E. Now 2 is on F. 3 is on A. You're going to skip a note between the 2 and 3. And then 5 is on C. Thumb is on F. Oh, look, that's in a little different position. Not really far. It was on E at the beginning. Now it's on F. And then our 5 moves up 1 more note. So if you notice, and I'll show you on the piano, your thumb moves up 1 and your whole hand moves up 1. 4, 4, 3, 2. Okay, let's take a look at the piano. Okay, we finished the last That was the last note we played on the first line. Now the thumb moves up right next to the F and takes over this E. 2 goes on G, or on F. E, F, 3, 5. So there is a distance between the fingers. Okay, now your thumb's going to move up 1 and your pinky moves up 1. That's why I said just move your whole hand up 1. Now you do your 3, 2. Okay, that's how that will work. Back to writing the third line. Come back to black for our notes. Okay, the third line starts on this C up high, not middle C, but the next C up higher. So obviously we're going to move our hand. C, D, E, F. Hold the F for a little bit, and then E, E, D, C, B, and we're going to play a B flat. That's a black key, a half step lower than B. I'll show you on the piano. Back to C, down to A. Okay, let's look at the fingering for this line. We move our thumb up to this high C, but then look, it's just right in order, C, D, E, F. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your 3 goes on the E. 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we've done a crossover before, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to cross your 2 over. And this is a little tricky because we're not going to come back to your thumb. We're going to put the 3 there. We cross over, and when we cross over, you move your hand so that the 3 can come under, and then your thumb can reach down to the A. Let me just show you why we do that. I'm going to talk right here about the crossover. We're on C. Usually we cross over and come right back. But if we did that, now we have to go to the A. Like, that's a weirder crossover. That's a big crossover. You don't want that. You want as little twisting as possible. You want to keep your wrists straight and move as little as possible on the fingering. So when we go here, cross over, we'll put your 3 right there and just sneak your thumb down to this A. See how that doesn't twist my hand around? Okay, from the beginning of that line, starting on this thumb on C. Yeah, there you go. Back to the last line of this page. Okay, we're going to reach way down here for a D. Obviously, we're going to use our thumb because that's a low note. But then we go all the way up to C. C, B flat, A. And we hold that A a little while, so we'll scooch over it, give it some room. 2 more A's. A, G, F, E, F. Okay, and the fingering, like I said, thumb. Now our thumb ended on A on the last line, so we're going to have to pick it up and move it down here to the D. And then this is a big reach, so your pinky reaches that C. 4 for B flat, 3 on the A, and then 3, 3, 2, 1. Now what do we do when we've run out of notes but we have one more to go to? We do the crossover. This time, you don't switch to your 3. You're going to come right back to your 1. Okay, let me show you on the piano. So we ended up here. Oh, and I showed you the B flat is this black note. Okay, here we were. Now we got to hop all the way down to this D, and you spread your hand out a little bit because your pinky's going to play this C. cross over to the E with your 2, right back to your thumb on F. Okay, there you go. You got the first line done. Okay, I have another worksheet for page 2, so I will write up at the top. Raise me up. Page 2. Okay. The first line, we're going to start, it's going to be very familiar to a line we've done before. We start up on this C. Up high in the treble clef, not middle C. C, D, E, F. And that F we hold for a little while, so we scooch over, give it some room. 2 E's, D, C, B flat, C, and then down to A. And now for the fingering. Okay, thumb, and it's going to be in a new place. Thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. Here's a crossover. And it's our fancy crossover where we don't go back to your 1. You go to the 3. Do you recognize this line? We've done this before, so I'm not going to need to play it for you again. We'll go to the next line. Okay, we start on this C again. Up to G. 2 F's. 2 E's. D. Skip down to B flat. And then 2 C's. Okay, let's put the fingering in there. 1, and we already, well, we didn't end there. We started the last line there. We did not end on 1, so you got to get back up to the C. Your 5 goes up to the G. 4, 4. 3. Okay, now here's a tricky. We're going to switch to the 4. It's not going to be the 3 on both of the E's because we're going to need more fingers. 4, 3, 2 is going to reach down to the B flat. That's kind of a reach, so I'll put a little star there. And then your 3 finger is on C. 3, 3. All right, let's go to the next line. Oh, no, I want to show you. Let's go to the piano. Okay, so we're up here on C, and we go C, G, F, F, 3, and then we play the same note again, but we switch it. It's called finger substitution. 3, and then we use a different finger. Then down to, ooh, this is kind of a big reach. And then your 3 moves down to the C. Okay, we'll have to practice that. And I just noticed here, I should have put a little starboard. Boy, look at all these changes we're doing. Because the 3 was on D, now the 3's on C. Okay, but let's look at the next line. We start on the C again. E, F. 2 E's. D, C. B flat. C. Up to F. And now the fingering. 1, 3, 4, 2 3's, 2 1. Okay, here we have a crossover, but it's just a normal crossover because we come back to our 1, and then our 4th finger's up here on F. So let me show you on the piano. Up here on this C. Okay, now our last line. All the way down to this D again, like we've done before, and then up to C, B flat, A. Ooh, we hold that A a little longer and then come over, look, give it some space, and there's 2 more A's. G, F, E, F. And that's going to be the end of the song. Here's the fingering for that last line. Obviously, our thumb, we come down here, up to your pinky, 4, 3, 3. Okay, ooh, here's that finger substitution. The second one is going to be a 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Now another choice, if you want to not do this finger substitution, if you want to just play 2 3s, then you have a crossover for the last, for the E, F. So I'll show you both ways, see what you want to do. Okay, here's the last line. Here I substitute. Okay, here I don't. And you cross over and come back to your thumb. Either way works. You either have to substitute or do a crossover. There's just less movement in a substitute. It's like that instead of like that. So I know it's a tiny little thing, but you just want to get in the habit of making small movements with your hand. Okay, go ahead and practice all that. And when you're ready, when you have this down, let's move to level 2. Okay, you should have level 1 all learned with the right hand and all that fingering. Now we're going to add level 2, which is where we add a note in the left hand. So underneath, I'm going to write the notes that we're going to put in the left hand. We don't play anything in the left hand for these first 3 notes, but when we play this A with your pinky, you'll come in with an F down here in the left hand. F. Okay, remember we hold the A, F. Now when we play this G, right below the G, we're going to play a B flat. And then when we play the C, we play an F in the left hand up to F. All right, I'll write in the notes of a couple lines and then we'll play it. All right. Nothing here, E, F, A, C. Since there's nothing, I don't recommend just leaving it hanging. I would play da, 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 and play the same note again. Same chord again in the left hand. But now when we go to this D with your pinky up high, we're going to play a B flat in the left hand. And when we end on the G, we play a C with the left hand. Okay, so I'll just show you what this sounds like. See, it's first 2 lines. Okay, we've got F. I'm going to go down to this B flat and C. Those are the 3 notes that we'll be using. Okay, that's what it sounds like, just those single notes in the left hand. Let's get some more written. Okay, on this next line, nothing under the C, D, E, but when we hit that F at the top, we're going to play a B flat at the same time, right there. E, E, D, C, B flat, and then when we hit this C, where we put your 3rd finger on C, we're going to play an F, A. Now in this empty space after the A, we're going to play a B flat. And then D, C, B flat. And when we hit this A, we're going to play an F. A, ooh, and then a C right here under this second A. A, G, F, E, F. Okay, second page. C, D, E, nothing. But then when we play the F, now we have a new note. It's a D, and when we add the chords, we need to know that it's a lowercase m for minor chord. Well, right now on level 2, we're only playing a single note, so just play the D, don't worry about the little m. E, E, on the second E, we're going to play a B flat. D, C, B flat. When we play this C, we play a F, A. And now again, in the space at the end of the line, after we've played the A, we're going to play a C in the left hand. For the second line, we play a D minor under this second F. And then on the second E, we play a B flat, kind of like the line above it. And then on this last C, we play an F. And then in the space at the end of the line, we play a C. See how the chords are exactly like the line before? Okay, on the third line, C, E, F. When we play the F in the right hand, we're going to play an F in the left hand. And then a B flat. And then an F. And in the space here at the end of the line, we're going to play a B flat. And the reason we do those, we set up the chord like at the end of this phrase, at the end of this line, is going to lead into what the chord is for the first. Notice like right here we played the C. We didn't play another C on this because it was already set up. We already played the C kind of early. So we're playing the B flat early, setting it up. So this is still in the B flat sound, the B flat chord. D, C, B flat. Now, when we play the A, we're going to play F. And on this second A, we switch to a C. And on the very last F, we play an F. Okay. And as far as the piano, I would use this F, this C, this B flat, and this D. Because you don't have to move your hand at all. You just set it up for thumb on F, pinky on B flat. All right, so learn level 2 with the right and the left hand together with those single notes. And when you get that learned, let's move to level 3. All right, you should know the right hand alone and the single notes in the left hand. Now I'm going to add chords. Okay, the 4 chords, there's only 4 chords in this song. It's an F, and so we'll start right here. We got kind of a cool rainbowy pen. F. Okay, the notes of an F chord start on F, and then we skip up on the piano. We skip over G, and it's A. Then we skip over B, and it's C. Those are the 3 notes of the F chord. The next chord that we come up to is a B flat chord. So I just draw a square around the name of the chord. It starts on a B flat. We skip over C, and it's a, oh, I wrote a C, a D. Then we skip over E, and it's an F. Okay, the next chord is a C chord. Easy peasy, start on C, skip the D, E, skip over F, G. The last chord is that D with a lowercase m, D minor. It starts on D, F, A. Okay, the reason it's minor is because F, to be major, has a sharp. Here's D, F sharp, A. Happy sound? Here's D, F with no sharp. So that's the sound they wanted, so it's D minor. But really, the only black key we're playing is B flat. Now, there's one thing I want to do right here on this. We're going to do what's called a different inversion. We're going to take basically the C and flip it down to the bottom. So then with the eraser, I'm not going to have a C on the top. So we're erasing the C on the top. And so let me just kind of rewrite that so it's spread out a little bit better. It starts with the C, and then F, and then A. So we're just rearranging the notes of the chord. And I'm going to show you why, and it's the fingering. We want it to be very smooth and the least amount of moving in your hand. So when you have these chords, I would write these on a blank piece of paper and put it next to your melody sheet so that you can look back and forth. All right, see, I have my papers up here. Okay, the first chord, F, A, C, it starts with the C on the bottom, so that's your pinky. Number 2 is on F and thumb on A. Instead of going F, and then look, we have to move all the way down to B flat. But if we're right here with our C, B flat is just one note away. And then C and D minor. So every time we play an F, so practice playing those chords. And here's what it sounds like with the chords. Then if you're really good at that and want to take on an extra challenge, I'll see you on the bonus level. All right, you brave souls, here we go. All we're going to do is we're going to take those chords and kind of spice it up a little bit. Adds a little flair. Okay. So now, instead of playing, we did the block chord, the F, A, C, I'm going to start with my pinky all the way down here on F. And I'm just going to play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back to F. Now, if there's a time when it's held out longer, I'm going to fill in the gap by going, using my 5, 3, 2 thumb with F on the top. And I'm going to actually cross my second finger up to the next note of the chord, which is A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When there's extra time to fill in. All right, you can watch this, you can pause and stop and see what I do, but basically that's the pattern I'm going to follow. It's just 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. And if there's longer, I cross over. Oh, and at the very end, I'm going to do the chord extravaganza. I have another video on that. So you'll see I'm starting on F and doing an F chord extravaganza for the ending. All right, here we go.